You might be surprised to learn that a brief 60-second routine can activate areas of your brain that have been dormant for years. The majority of individuals consider memory loss to be a normal part of growing older. Well, I'm over 60, they shrug. What are you anticipating? However, I notice something unusual in my clinic. I observe a smaller subset of elderly people who have remarkably vivid memories of names, dates, and stories. Not because they visited a prestigious medical facility or discovered a costly, miraculous drug, they take a much easier approach, something you can accomplish at home without any special equipment, without strain, and without assistance from others, while seated in a chair. And this is the main point I want you to remember today. You do not have to be destined for forgetfulness. Your brain is a dynamic system. Even at 60, 70, or 80 years old, it is a living, adaptable organ that may restore connections, fortify weak circuits, and retrieve abilities that seem lost. However, the proper type of stimulus is necessary for your brain to accomplish that. I'll demonstrate that stimulation today using a 60-second routine that supports attention, circulation, balance systems, and memory pathways. It was inspired by research on neuroplasticity. Keep reading because what you discover here may actually alter your perspective on your mind and what you think is still achievable for your memory. Why you should listen to me and who I am. Hi there, this is Dr. Sophia Martin. As a neurologist with a focus on brain health, I have dealt with seniors over 60 virtually every day for over 20 years. I've seen thousands of folks in my clinic over the past 20 years who believed their memory loss was irreparable. Confusion, they thought, was just aging. They thought it was inevitable that they would lose their words, their concentration, and little parts of themselves. However, based on actual clinical practice, I can tell you, it isn't always unavoidable. I have witnessed the recovery of mental clarity in persons in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s. I've witnessed them re-enter discussions they had previously shied away from. I've witnessed individuals recall things they believed had vanished forever, including faces, stories, journeys, even birthdays. My goal is straightforward, to demonstrate to you the possibilities of the aging brain. All you have to do is wake it up properly. Watch this video through to the finish, please. Each component is important. You'll have a finished routine by the end that you can use right now. Additionally, let me know in the comments what city and nation you are watching from. I enjoy getting to know the people on the other side of the screen. Why this is more important than ever. Tens of millions of people worldwide suffer from memory deterioration. About 57 million individuals were estimated by the World Health Organization to have dementia in 2021, with almost 10 million new cases reported annually. الصحة العالمية منظمة +2 إلزي أيمر الدولية +2. Every year, that figure rises. However, many individuals are unaware of this. Modifiable factors, things we can do early on, including activity, blood flow health, sleep, mental stimulation, and controlling hazards like diabetes or high blood pressure, have a significant impact on cognitive decline. Min Almet Xiao +1. It's a cultural issue. Older persons have been conditioned by society to accept the early warning signs of decline. After 60, it's common to forget. It's just getting older. Everyone mentally slows down. However, your brain was designed to remain busy throughout your life. If it doesn't, you should investigate the reasons and enhance your stimulation. I encounter folks every day who are embarrassed by minor mistakes. They can't remember where they put their keys. Halfway through a story, they lose interest. They give a grandchild the incorrect name. They miss important appointments. They ask the same questions over and over again without realizing it. It begins modestly, but gradually robs people of their self-assurance, freedom, and happiness. And for that reason, we require easy, secure tools that stimulate the brain. How memory actually operates. Easy to understand. I'll show you an illustration that simplifies this. Think of your brain as a big metropolis. Highways connect the many neighborhoods of that city. Your neurological pathways are those roads. These roads are smooth, fast, and crowded when you're younger. Hearing a name, storing it, and then recalling it later are all simple processes. However, some pathways begin to deteriorate when they are not used frequently, particularly as we age. Similar to a root that no one uses, weeds spread. There are fissures. The surface becomes weaker until finally it's difficult to identify the road. The hopeful part comes next. Neuroplasticity is the ability of your brain to create new pathways and fix existing ones. PMC plus 1. Studies reveal that regular mental training and exercise can enhance memory function and promote hippocampal health, even in older persons. The hippocampus is an important structure for creating and retrieving memories. Harvard Health plus 2, Nature plus 2. When the stimulus is appropriate, it will show results over weeks, not suddenly overnight. Therefore, whether your brain can alter is not the question. According to science, it can. The actual query is, would you be willing to dedicate 60 seconds a day to it? 7 early warning indications that your brain needs assistance. Let's verify something together before I walk you through the routine. Are any of these signs familiar to you? You enter a room and lose sight of your purpose. You have trouble remembering the names of people you've known for a long time. You become distracted by extended stories or conversations. Even if you write down your appointments, you still forget them. Words are on the tip of your tongue, but they remain unspoken. You frequently misplace everyday objects like your phone, glasses, and keys. Unaware of it, you ask the same questions or tell the same anecdotes. Don't panic if you identify 2 or more. However, don't disregard it either. That is your brain requesting more stimulus and greater food. Indeed, you still have time to make this better. The 60-second routine's fundamental idea: when multiple brain systems awaken simultaneously, your memory improves the most. Circuits for movement, vestibular, and balance circuits, networks of attention, language and sensory systems, and the control of blood flow. Coordinating movement with concentrated attention can enhance brain-body integration and promote central nervous system development, according to research on sensory motor and multisensory training. Link: springer.com plus 2. Physiopedia.com plus 2. Clinical vestibular exercises are utilized to retrain the brain because vestibular stimulation, the balance system, is particularly linked to spatial orientation and brain activation. Plus 1 at umc.edu. Studies on tongue-based vestibular substitution demonstrate how powerfully tongue input can interact with the brain's balance and posture systems, demonstrating that even the tongue has dense sensory motor connections. مركز المعلومات الحيوية الوطني. Now, I want to be forthright and accountable. Not a single extensive research has demonstrated that this precise 5-move sequence cures memory loss. However, it is based on well-established principles: circulatory support, multisensory input, movement, and attention. Additionally, I've observed that routines like this help folks in my clinic, particularly when paired with fundamental lifestyle choices. An actual patient story. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Alberto Mendez, a retired math instructor who is 72 years old. A year or so ago, he entered my clinic with a silent fear. "I used to be the guy with the keen memory, Dr. Sophia," he added. "I was able to recall every student's birthday. Lessons from 40 years ago came back to me. I've never forgotten a name. However, right now, what I had for breakfast eludes me. Last week, I made 3 incorrect calls to my granddaughter. I think I'm becoming less of myself." We gave him a thorough evaluation. He had no history of strokes, serious neurological conditions, or symptoms of progressive dementia. He suffered from typical age-related cognitive decline, which was exacerbated by a lack of stimulation upon retirement. He learned a basic daily routine from me, the same kind you'll learn today. He initially chuckled. 2 minutes? He asked. That's too easy for a major issue. However, he consented to try, each morning, each night. Don't skip anything. He came back 3 weeks later, and I could tell the change. He entered with a smile on his face. "Dr. Sophia, I was able to recall the name of a student I had 40 years ago yesterday. I saw it clearly. My spouse also claims that I participate in talks more actively. I no longer ask her to repeat herself. He sent me a note 6 weeks later that I can still clearly recall. I assisted my granddaughter with her homework in math. I could recall the formulas. I felt like myself once more. Is everyone guaranteed to experience this story? No. However, it demonstrates what regular stimulation can accomplish while the brain is still able to adjust. Before you begin, take note of the safety precautions. For most folks, this routine is gentle. However, kindly take these precautions. Do very gentle neck movements or consult your doctor first if you have serious neck problems, disc difficulties, severe arthritis, recent injury. Start gently if you have severe vertigo or irritation in your inner ear. Stop and take a break if you start feeling lightheaded. See your neurologist first if you have a serious neurological problem or are recuperating from a recent stroke. Stop right away if you get any discomfort, severe dizziness, or nausea. Your body is distinct. Observe its cues. The step-by-step 60-second brain wake routine. Step 1. Configure 5 seconds. Take a seat comfortably on a chair that supports your back. Feet flat on the ground, putting your hands on your thighs. Relax shoulders and a straight spine. To concentrate, take 3 deep breaths. Step 2. Activate the toe 10 seconds. Raise both feet's toes a little. Wait 3 to 5 seconds. After that, gently press them into the ground for 3 to 5 seconds. Lastly, quickly tap or wriggle your toes for a few seconds. Why this is beneficial? The cerebellum and coordination networks, which communicate with the brain's attention and timing systems, are activated by toe motions. Physiopedia.com. Step 3. Turn your neck gently for 10 seconds. As you gently continue the toe movement, within a comfortable range, slowly turn your head to the right. Go back to the middle. Slowly turn left. Go back to the middle. Then, for 2 seconds, raise your chin a little, as if you were staring at the ceiling, and then gently descend it, chin toward your chest, for another 2 seconds. Why this is beneficial? Slow neck movement is employed in sensoromotor retraining and can improve blood flow regulation to the brain, as well as proprioceptive and sensoromotor input. +1 for jawspt.org. Step 4. Tongue awareness, 10 seconds. For 2 seconds, gently extend your tongue forward without straining. For 2 seconds, move it to the right corner of your mouth. For 2 seconds, move it to the left. For 2 seconds, gently press your tongue against your palate. Next, slowly rotate your mouth in a circle. This is beneficial because tongue input can effectively activate brainstem and balance networks, and the tongue has a wealth of sensory motor connections. مركز المعلومات الحيوية الوطني. Step 5. 10 seconds of vestibular, ear, stimulation. Gently grip your ears with both hands. For 2 seconds, gently pull upward. For 2 seconds, extend forth to the sides. For 2 seconds, gently descend. After that, rub in tiny circles for a little while. Why this is beneficial? Vestibular structures are located near the ears. Neural retraining, orientation, and arousal are all associated with vestibular stimulation. +1 at umc.edu. Step 6. Gently mix, 15 seconds. Now perform a soft, flowing blend. Gentle tapping of the toes, sluggish head movements, tongue, motions, stimulation of the ears, all the while maintaining your attention on your task. About 60 seconds in total. Step 7. Do it every day, once in the morning and once at night. More important than intensity is consistency, what you can anticipate. This is not a miracle that will happen overnight. Repetition is necessary for your brain to rebuild roadways. However, a lot of people observe early changes like increased concentration during discussions, fewer instances of tip of the tongue, improved recollection in the short term, greater mental vigor in the morning, increased self-assurance. It's acceptable if you don't feel anything for a week. Continue. Consider it similar to watering a plant that you haven't given much attention to for years. It appears the same on the first day. However, the roots start to awaken. The wider view. Don't ignore this section. I have a really essential item to say. Memory is more than just a mental ability. Your identity is your memory. It's your narratives, your affection, your personal experience, where you stand in your family. People lose more than just knowledge when their memory deteriorates. They also lose aspects of who they are. However, you discovered something significant today. Your brain is still malleable. You can still get better at remembering things. Additionally, it might only require 1 minute each day to begin reviving. Finishing. Thus, begin now. Get started right now. You can afford 60 seconds and your mind will appreciate it later. Please like this video if it was helpful to you so that other families can see it. Put your viewing location in the comments section. Additionally, if you know someone who has been quietly struggling, please share this with them. Here, we're creating a community that rejects mental deterioration as inevitable. I appreciate you being here with me today. Your brain is your most valuable possession, therefore take care of it. I'll see you in the upcoming video too.